What's up, email geeks? Welcome back to another episode of Feedback Friday. This week, we have Olivia from Justuno. How's it going?
It is going wonderful. How are you doing?
Very good. Excited for some 4th of July festivities this weekend. But first, some amazing pop-up examples.
So to introduce myself, I am Olivia Stapp. I've been with Justuno for about 4 years. I manage our customer success and strategy department. So I look at a lot of pop-ups. I know, the best practices, and I've been doing this for a long time.
For people maybe not familiar, what are email pop-ups? Like, how do you sort of use them? How do you put them on your site?
There are so many ways. One of the biggest ways, the number one thing, is email capture and lead capture. All marketers know how valuable an email lead can be, and that is kind of Justuno's bread and butter. You would initially kind of know us for, right? And then on top of that, we do a lot of other things, including exit intent, trying to save those cart abandoners. We also have a lot of different like gamification features. There's just so many different opportunities to use Justuno promotions on your website to help increase your ROI, to help your conversions, to gather more leads. It is a very dynamic tool.
Yeah, I feel like email captures have been around for a while, but we're still seeing marketers experiment with the format and try new interactive components, or how when they show up, how they show up, what kind of information you're displaying. So it's always interesting to see different brands trying out new stuff.
And we're constantly seeing new and innovative ideas, especially with, SMS capture kind of coming into the world as well. But different appearances, different, like you said, those gamifications like spin to wins and things like that. Not only making the email capture, valuable to the customer because they're getting, often getting a discount, but making it fun to interact with it as well.
Yeah, I feel like people think they're a bit annoying, but I still think they definitely work. Closing a sale or capturing an email address, they're still a really effective tool to actually make that happen on a page.
They are a lot of, and today what we often say when people are worried about the annoying factor is, the rules. The rules are a big thing, making sure that we're displaying things to people at appropriate times and not overwhelming them. That will make that feel less annoying, right? I know often when I go to a site, I actually look for them now, because if I'm going to go and I'm already, kind of set on making a purchase, I'm like, where's my discount?
Exactly. Well, Justuno put together this awesome resource called popupexamples.com, featuring a lot of the pop-ups. I think we talked about maybe some of the more common examples, like capturing an email address, giving someone an offer. Is there any other unique ways people might be using these?
There's so many unique ways. We have people using promotions on mobile devices to mimic a mobile menu. So it's just a promotion, like a bottom promotion bar with some icons on it. So it makes things a little bit easier to navigate in the mobile format. So one of the fun things I'm seeing a lot of clients do now is a post-purchase SMS capture, having really good luck with expanding capture from just the standard, fire it when somebody is new and just landing on the site situation.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of little variables you can play around with, when you're asking them, when you're showing something. There's lots of opportunities to maybe A/B test these forms and where in that sales customer cycle you want to ask for some of that information.
Exactly. And A/B testing is one of the powerhouses of Justuno. And, nobody knows your audience like you know your audience. And, the best thing is testing things that have worked, and things like everything from testing a imagery to, a lifestyle image on the promotion, to different copy, to different offers. It's all about finding what works best for your audience.
There was a couple different brands that we saw, had pop-ups in the wild, and I thought we could feature and talk through some of the good parts and the bad parts of some of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. So this specific promotion is very, very unique, but it works in a lot of ways because of its uniqueness. With welcome captures, people often, I know we just touched on it. People think, can think they're annoying. And for a lot of brands that have a very clean kind of upscale aesthetic as the one we're seeing here, a full page center promotion, may not be the best bet. But we always do want to note in circumstances like this that with the lead capture being this bottom bar instead of like a center main promotion, there is a very, very strong chance of seeing a reduction in engagement rate. So in that lead capture, you will sacrifice a little bit there. That's always something worth testing, right? You can A/B test a banner capture versus a full size capture to see which one your audience is responding to best. And sometimes people find the quality of leads when they do something a little bit more like this tend to be a little bit better because it's really, really attracting people that want to engage.
Yeah, I like this one. I picked this one out because it seemed like less in your face, while still using a lot of the colors from the brand. Seemed pretty straightforward. I do agree if you would have put it, front and center, you might get a more engagement, but I think this is a good placement for a brand that, wants to let you know that they have an email list that you can sign up for, but isn't, overly aggressive with that, right in the front.
Yeah, I love this. This is a really great way to, like I said, be cautious of being too overwhelming, but also still making sure it's kind of out there. So this is a really great example of, something that stands out, that's fun looking, and it's unique, but it doesn't have an offer. So they are not offering you a discount percentage or anything. They're just saying, if you love us, you want to get to know us, kind of sign up for us. Some feedback that I would give them on this is collecting and asking for your name. This is another one that, a lot of people do use kind of customization in emails. And so they do want to have that name in there as well. But it does, once again, every additional field you're asking for, you're going to reduce your engagement rate. You think about people and people very often will be like, man, that's a little bit too much effort kind of thing. There's always other things you can offer in your copy. And I think that this brand has a lot of opportunities to test copy, right? Making it be a little bit more exclusive discounts, like if they have discounts sent, know when our sales are coming. So having that like really exciting kind of language to get on the newsletter when you're not offering a discount.
Yeah, I agree. I think with email captures, I like to set expectations really clearly when you offer a form like this so people know what they're signing up for. I think a lot of people are used to signing up just to get a discount, but if it is something like a newsletter, even letting them know what day they can expect it or is this going to be a daily email, it's good to kind of have some of that stuff be a little bit more upfront.
And that brings up a really good point too, as well, being really, really clear and honest with your audience, right, about what you're offering. Making your language as clear to read and as simple as possible is a definite best practice and one that they accomplish really well on this promotion.
Pushing some of these additional fields out maybe until the next page, or even I think what we do is sometimes we'll do a follow-up email and say like, could you let us know some more information about you, after opt-in, especially if some of these brands aren't even going to use your name all the time. It's sometimes you capture fields just to capture them and your marketing team doesn't end up using them anyway. So you might as well reduce the amount of fields that you're including.
So let's take a look at some exit offers. I want to make sure we can get through all our different fun ones in here. We have a really simple, super simple, right? But it fits with the website. It's not too jarring because it's not out of place. It's very, very simple. There's still enough time for 15% off, right? So the 15% off is just an overall site-wide event, like as you can see from the banner up top, so we can get that context. Reminding somebody of that big sale, like, hey, don't forget, like, yeah, we already gave you this in the banner, but here's that second reminder. And as well, that countdown timer that they have in the banner is awesome to see those.
I really even just like the design of this, matching that website style, even having some rounded corners on this pop-up. But yeah, this definitely caught my eye when I was sort of exiting the site. It kind of brought me back in to say like, oh, okay, well, I can maybe finish this purchase. It almost creates this like FOMO thing of like, well, I have this discount. I almost like have to use it because
it's like what if I don't have that later?
Exactly. So I think they do a great job, adding some urgency and adding a little bit of FOMO there to maybe get you to keep browsing or make that sale.
I usually very much tend to veer my clients away from a lead capture and an exit promotion. The person is already on their way out the door. We are, kind of adding in an additional step so that we see very, very like a lot lower engagement rate with those, where the purpose of these promotions is to retain them there and then. Maybe instead of doing the leaving so soon, $15 off your first order of $150, doing something of leaving so soon, here's $15 off when you purchase $150. So we're just giving it to them because with the purchase, we have another opportunity of obtaining the email address, right? The extra step of entering the email could potentially detract people from taking the offer up.
Yeah, did you have any insights maybe on making someone go to the welcome email to get that coupon code, or would you recommend showing it right away on the site?
Right away on the site, right? We want to make it as easy as possible for those people. When we use the version of like, hey, not displaying it on site and using it for email, that's for people who are getting a lot of like spam or kind of throwaway emails. You can use things like Bright Verify and different things like that to validate emails on site as well. Oh, I love this.
I thought it was interesting where they really weren't asking for anything, and maybe that's because they know that I'm already opted into these emails, but I just thought, some fun CTA copy like wild thanks and just letting you know that you might get something added to your order plus a discount is kind of a cool way to, a very like time sensitive offer on the page rather than a more generic, sign up.
Yeah. This is definitely something that would be like almost you could use as an exit promotion, right? When somebody doesn't have anything in their cart yet. This is kind of like that extra, like, hey, how about this? But these additional things and this additional discount, and it fits. It is so on brand. I cannot get over how on brand this is, and I love it. So this is a really good example of like an alternative to a discount. Doing a winner, like a raffle win kind of situation or enter to win something, it's a really good incentive, right, for people to sign up and you get really, really engaged audiences from it. One of a really large client I've worked with for a while, Pendleton, actually, the blanket company, was regularly doing giveaways and had massive success with their lead captures. Yes, gamification is phenomenal. It is very, very, very good for upping that email lead list size. One of those situations where you do have to be careful for people who are just, putting in emails to spin the wheel, but it does increase your lead capture rate very, very typically by multiple percents. This is really simple, right? It's from the side. One thing I would actually recommend on this promotion design wise, and every promotion actually, is adding an additional close button underneath the spin button, just because we don't want to interfere with the experience. We've decided to place something in the way and we want to make sure it's as easy as possible so it doesn't interfere if they are, on a conversion pathway essentially. It's really simple, it's on brand, and I enjoy the copy on this. I really love when people have fun to brand copy. Making things look on brand and making your language speak to your audience is so important.
I've never used one of these, but I've definitely heard a lot of people talk about them and seen them on other sites. So definitely something to test and see how you see that lift. But I definitely think this brings a fun and interactive sort of element towards just a regular opt-in. It kind of makes you feel like, again, maybe some FOMO that you won something or something like that. So it kind of brings that interaction of just opting in. It makes it a little bit more exciting. I found this one to be really cool, and I haven't seen anything sort of like it before.
We actually have, this is what we would call pick a prize. So it's actually a template kind of we offer now. It's a plugin we offer now that we just built out. So you can do something similar where you can upload images and one of them be the winner. And with these, always it's, making sure we're getting them in front of people at the correct timing, not just like putting something like this on landing and to somebody, always delaying it a bit so people have a chance to settle into your site before. That also assures anybody who like accidentally closes it out doesn't do that as well. This is very like this is like a lot, I think, a lot of opportunity for testing, right? So for some brands, when you look at things like this is really simple, and for some brands that really works well for. Some brands it's simple is the best kind of option, especially like depending on your audience. They have a lot of opportunities, I think, to test, and even testing a welcome screen That would be adding in a, screen ahead of it that just says, hey, or would you like a discount today? Kind of yes or no, or, how about, opting in or something like that. That leading language has a really good impact on positive engagements.
This is very simple. You don't have to read too much on, what you need to do, but I think there might be opportunities too on after you receive that email, like that confirmation next sort of slide on this page. I would be interested to maybe see what that looks like if they, give you your code here or say like, share this or referral or something. I feel like that confirmation second, there's a lot of opportunities to try out new things. I know we've tried out like a social share, like thanks for joining the club.
We just
like,
had that.
Know. Yeah, so
we just had a request for that, and I have a client who's now like asking for Facebook likes via their thank you page as well. And I think there's a lot of opportunities for those thank you pages, and they're now starting to be a little bit more utilized rather than being like kind of an afterthought, like you just said.
All right, for this last example, they are asking for the double opt-in, both email and phone number.
Love it. I'm glad we pulled one of these up. So I would definitely recommend testing doing the capture on one page versus splitting out that capture.
I definitely agree. I feel like there's some hesitancy when people ask me my phone number right away. I think we've said on a previous episode, like when you get someone's phone number, it's like they're a super fan. So sometimes asking for that right up front when I don't really know a lot about your brand is kind of a lot for me to give you my phone number just to get 10% off something. But I know some people only have an SMS strategy and they don't really even use email, the same way. So, I mean, if you had to recommend email versus phone number, if you only could pick one, which one would you maybe pick?
I would say email on desktop and mobile on mobile.
Oh, interesting. I like that strategy.
Yeah, that's usually my strategy. It's worked out really well for a lot of my clients, and where they're not kind of sacrificing anything, it feels like, because they have a very valuable email list.
I'm sure we gave people a lot of examples to walk through, and I'm excited to see what people try out. Definitely see pop-ups sticking around on the web for a minute because they continue to work pretty well.
They are not going away in any time soon, and they're really helpful in a lot of ways. And Justuno is a super powerful tool, and there's a lot of really unique and fun ways to utilize the tool as well.
Great. Well, thanks so much for taking the time. I really appreciate you jumping on here, and Justuno has a lot of good resources as well, so definitely check it out. See ya.
Have a good one. Bye.